Hey guys, this is What the Foo, and welcome back to my car again. Oddly enough, I was setting this up as I was driving, so I am safe. My hands are off the wheel. Okay, anyways, I'm sorry. But, I don't know. Lately I've been just like trying to work my graveyard, and it's been weird. Because, yes, I know I've been saying time and time again that I'm trying to like make time to record actual videos. And I haven't been doing that. I've been streaming more than I have actually tried to make videos, and it's just me being busy with my life and being busy trying to recover from working overnight. And it's a muscle. It's a progressive muscle that I'm learning to adapt and to mold. But that's not the topic of today's video. I mean, it's a sunny day in the Northwest, and it's cool. But it's been coming up time and time again about, like, the topics of tolerance, the topics of mental strength, of just learning how to keep hold of your shit. And I apologize. And I will apologize many, many times about swearing. Swearing isn't something that I want to say a lot. I mean, I've been around kids a lot, and I've been around parents a lot, and I want to swear as least as possible, or at least try to find alternatives. But things have been really tough lately, and there's like the whole topic of learning how to keep your gross aspects of your life like in check, or at least to not allow your nasty side to like affect the way you live. Oh god, this is really hard. It's hard to not swear when there's context with it. Anyways, moving forward, like, it's really weird to where, like, I found myself, like, having a different type of tolerance and a different type of like, mentality when it comes to people and things. And I think I have to dedicate a lot of my tolerance. And for those of you that know me very well, or for those of you that will get to learn to know me, is that my level of tolerance is pretty high. Not a lot gets to me. Like, I can recognize a lot of things that go on around me. Like, if you're gonna gas me, you know, like, leave me hanging for messages like at a time and not reply to me, okay, it makes sense. Like, you have your own life to live, and I can't hold you accountable for like responding to me right then and there. I'm gonna be mentally making theories about why you're not talking to me. Is it my fault? Is it your fault? Is it the situation? Did you forget? Did I forget to say something? Or am I just too persistent? Other times it's weird, just because even though bad things may happen to you, it's a matter of whether or not you're gonna let it like eat you alive, or if it's a life sentence, or if it's a game changer and you let it become a game changer in your life. Because for me, after going through my life and experiencing domestic violence and experiencing depression on multiple levels and just facing it, like, I recognize that my own depression is there. However, there are those that have accepted me, and they are more than welcome to walk me through my depressions and my overthinking, my anxiety. There are people in my life that walk me through and hold my hand as I have episodes of my depression and episodes of my anxiety. And in regards to the nasty stuff that I've done that I think would turn people away, I've come to like the mentality, and eventually, like, it's honestly, if you feel like treating me differently despite learning about my nasty side, about my hard to swallow aspects of my life. Like, I've done things that are questionable, and I've done things that would label me as trash, and I'm not in the position to say exactly yet. However, regardless, I don't know if I'm correct to be like this, but I'm in a mental capacity where, like, if you're gonna treat me differently despite all of this, it's on you. Like, if you're gonna distance yourself slowly and surely and just like not be friends with me anymore, or if you're gonna be changing your game on me, it's gonna, if you allow my dirty little secrets to affect how you treat me, it's on you. I'm gonna treat you how I've done it normally, and how I treat people is sporadic, it's situational, and this camera's not working. And I'm gonna treat you as genuinely as possible. I'm gonna treat you like family. I'm gonna do family things. I'll be like the uncle or the father, or I'll treat you like someone should. Someone that pours out time and patience with people. Because the number one thing people want the most out of people, if not material things, is time and patience. Time and patience are like the ultimate like things that you would want from someone, because that tells you that despite your flaws and despite your like the things that go on in your life, people want someone that are capable of standing there with you despite the worst storms of your life and the worst like mental episode that you have. And to accept and to be accepted despite your flaws, it's something that people want most, and that comes from being provided the time and patience to deal with it. But if you decide to treat me with the improper time and patience as well, time tolerance and patience, then we're not going to get along very well. We're going to slowly evaporate from each other's lives, and that's just what goes on. That's what happens. I can't stop that from happening. I mean, I wish I could be friends with everyone, and I wish to treat everyone properly and to love them accordingly. But yeah, it's weird. Because like I sometimes question my own tolerance of things. Like there are a lot of things that I let people get away with. And I really don't know why I let people do that. Like, some things have happened to me lately that to a normal person wouldn't let that slide. Like, you did this to me. After all we've been through, you did this to me. And then like, you have the ultimatum by either punishing them by like not helping them out anymore, or you have the option to like help them grow through that weird episode, and to let someone hurt you but forgive them and allow them to grow from it. It's really hard to do for a lot of people. Like, it's a dirty situation to think about, to where like I think it honestly does stem back to my relationship with my family. Just because like it's weird talking about these things. That's why this video is gonna be like driver's thoughts. What am I thinking? And updating. It's weird. The subject of this video is gonna be really weird when I do post it and share it, but ultimately I think for myself, like I can't speak for everyone else on how they live their life and how they plan to do certain things and to treat people in certain ways, but how I treat people like today, it's a reflection of how I've been treated. And when I used to live with my parents, it was a struggle. Like, I'm used to I've grown into like the idea like I had to prove myself constantly to my folks before I'm allowed to do things. Like, I had to prove that I'm a good driver before they let me to drive. And if I went into 1 or 3 accidents, then I lost my keys, I lost my privilege, like, to drive and shit. And I have. But more importantly, like, my mental strength right now comes from when I had to prove it to my mother every day of just being able to do the basic things. Like, if I wanted to eat, I had to prove that I can actually lose weight and stuff like that. But then I would do the kid thing, and then like do things behind her back because you're afraid of doing it when they're in front of you. And I had to face through a lot of domestic situations when my mom and I would like tussle a bit. But it's funny because, like, whatever I went through, a lot of people won't call domestic violence. If anything else, like, the word domestic violence came in recently as a way of, like, people to protect themselves. I don't know. Like, it's tough love, but sometimes tough love done without proper, like, lesson building and lesson in personal development, it's just nothing but violence. And I had the unfortunate situation where my mom did things out of violence because she couldn't control herself. And I think that really did teach me that if I couldn't give the time and patience to someone for what they've done wrong, I'm no better than my mom. Like, my mom didn't give me the time and patience that I needed to learn and develop from my mistakes. If anything else, like, I've always received a lot of tough love if I made a mistake or if I was just in the right place for her when she had a bad day at work. Like, she got angry at me like every other week. My mom would like be physical every other week or whatever. She was either verbal, emotional to me, and like she just didn't know how to handle it and keep it together. But for me, it's through her and my brother's interactions with me growing up before I moved out that I have no problem giving people the time and patience to like be around me. And sure, I may be doing dumb things, and sure, I'll be affected. It may look like I'm being bullied, but it's really not. Like, I look beyond like the friendly bullying that I receive, and I may be the idiot of my group of friends, but I would like to hope that I'm still loyal regardless. Like, you have to do something really, really bad for me to actually give up on you. Like, I'm not trying to boast and brag about the kind of person that I am, but it's my story, and I don't know, these are some of the things that go on the back of my head, and there's sometimes no like rhyme or rhythm as to why it happens. I'm just in the blessed position of where like I'm very tolerable of things, I'm very forgiving of things, and there are times where I can be mature, and there are other times when I'll scream in the microphone or camera saying all kinds of weird things and just be the weird idiot that people mistake for a Markiplier cosplay at SoccerCon or PAX. It's funny. But it's, I don't know, I really don't know how to deal with it. Because I have my way of dealing with personal battles and mental battles. I I have my own way of like dealing with someone figuring out my dirty little secrets or opening my closet full of skeletons. I have my own way of dealing with them and dealing with situations, but a lot of my mental will and my mental strength does come from my background, and I'm very blessed for it, even if at the time of the inflicted situation, it wasn't pretty. It wasn't great. But yeah, if you were with me this entire time, thank you so much for hearing me out. Don't forget to talk to me in the comments. I want to speak with you and like ask the question about how do you deal with how do you excuse my French, but how do you deal with your shit? How do you keep your shit together and roll with it? I want you to leave in the comments about what's your best advice to those that are dealing with situations in their lives that they don't want people to find out, or if they want to improve and move on from them. Leave them down in the comments. Thank you guys so much for watching. And as always, my name is What the Foo. I'm your friend. I'll see you next time. And don't forget that I stream on YouTube and Twitch ever so often. So I'll see you next time. And thank you for being a part of the ride.